this comparison to begin with.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter
No,
because
look.
there's no reason to be like, hey, would you rather castrate yourself or get grapes? Like, no, it's fucking weird. Like, I don't care.
Totally. Look, guys. We're not trying to like say that, hey, this is the argument people should go on. Okay. The context that it was brought up was its own context. Okay.
And I
But
was
the fact that
context.
none of you.
I'm going to tell you right now, I was there when the original statement was made. And she said the same thing then. She said the same thing, just as bad, if not worse. That was the entirety of what she said.
Yes.
It's her reasoning to the point. And a lot of people agreed with her until she started to double down and say that it was worse. So she originally switched her statement up because I originally agreed with the first statement. I never agreed with the fact that it is worse because, in fact, it is not.
Also, Minimal, let me ask you this question. Hold on, let me ask you this question to verify.
How can you say it's not
Minimal,
worse?
wait, let me ask you this question to
Oh,
reverse.
my God.
So are you trying to tell me that you would rather a child, just for clarification, you would rather a child get raped every day of their life, be sexually abused? You would rather that than them be a child transitioner?
And let me ask you a follow-up question.
Wait, hold on. Let me know.
No, I would rather someone retain their functioning, healthy body. This is the question, guys. No, you're avoiding my question. I would rather someone retain their functioning body
so you
than
want to get them sexually abused every day of their life, correct?
No, Bubbles. Think of it like this. Hold on, no, Bubbles.
No,
hold on.
Animal, you're not.
No, you guys
are not going to make
dude.
this comparison. That's disgusting.
Okay,
that
do any of you guys have
horrible.
children? Would you rather not have children? This is for all the parents out there. Would you rather
We are not here to have
lose
children.
your children?
Wait.
No.
Okay,
That's fucking weird.
are there any adults on the panel?
Wait, Lilith has
Oh,
a child.
no.
Lilith
Okay,
has a child.
so would you rather not have a child?
I would rather not have a child.
Okay, so you would basically have no children and never have a child.
Are we here to reproduce?
Guys,
Hold
guys,
on. I am talking right now. Everybody else needs to
the
shut up.
only point is
No,
that it's
Manimal.
not
You're going to listen right here
controversial
and right
to
now.
have this position.
No. Manimal, you're going to listen right here and right now.
Yeah, I will.
So,
Go ahead.
one, have you ever been through either of these two things? Because I guarantee you the answer is no. Next, if you have been through either of these things, you would know that yes, both of them are extremely harmful and it can be extremely damaging.
No
However,
one's disagreeing.
I don't think I was done. You have a proclivity for interrupting people.
No one's disagreeing with what you're saying, though.
I haven't experienced either of them. How can you
You
disagree?
guys, I can
Somebody
tell you
mute
right.
him whenever he talks because
I would rather.
I'm so tired of him over talking me.
Okay.
Why we should even
None of you guys want to answer my question, though. So
Because,
you're,
Manimal, you do understand that we don't care. Like, I don't give a damn about... Hold on!
well, then just admit that it's not controversial.
Hold on, stop talking.
Admit that
None
it's
of
not
us on-
controversial.
None of us on the... Look, I know at the end of the day, you came up to probably save Martha, and you know what? But all you're doing is making this shit 1,000 times fucking worse. I don't care about the logistics. I don't care about the whatever the fuck. I don't care. This is a disgusting comparison. And me and Megan, I'm not done talking.
You don't have an argument.
I'm not done talking. So wait a second. Me and Megan just got done talking about how triggering this kind of comparison is to children who are SA victims and SA survivors, and then you decide, oh, let me come up and do the exact same shit and bring it up again. Why? Because
basically don't have an argument. You just
interrupting
Yeah,
me.
this wasn't a debate space.
debate.
There was no.
This is
This is not a debate space. There's no argument to be had here.
Right. I can finish what I was going to say
Also-
without anybody interrupting.
Yeah, go ahead, Lola.
I, like I said, have been through both things. I can say that they are both extremely harmful in the right circumstances or even in the wrong circumstances. But CSA has a lot more of a detrimental mental health abuse thing than ever having to go through a transition, because I am a lot happier knowing that, one, this isn't the end-all be-all, and you have to go through a certain point of transition to even have the non-ability to be able to reproduce. And the only thing you really have to do to negate that is not take puberty blockers. And, hold on.
But
And
now,
also,
right,
Manimal, are
Stop
you aware?
Argument
interrupting,
out.
Manimal.
Manimal,
I'm literally going to drop you.
are you aware that some CSA victims can't even have children because the CSA was so bad?
Also, can we mention the fact that not even just that, but a couple of things. First of all, not everybody's like mission and dream is to have children. So let's put that out the way. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, let's also mention the fact that unfortunately, and especially Martha brought up this earlier. Martha was like, well, you know, if you're SA, you have a chance to have your possibility able to have a good life or normal life. But what about this? There are some children transitioners who grow up to live a happy life, but there is not a single SA victim that was happy and cheery and jolly that they got fucking SA'd and got their children taken from them. Like,
Right,
come on.
Let me finish. Okay, so as like I said, I had to get through a certain point to be able to not able to, or to be able to reproduce anymore. So before that point even happened, I stopped. It is not the end all be all that just because you get a transition medically that you are going to have this proclivity to be able to be unable to procreate. However, whenever you're talking about the mental disparities and the effects of CSA and transitioning, the trust issues you're going to have when you're coming with transitioning is towards doctors, nurses, people in the healthcare industry, maybe your parents, your friends. With CSA, you could have trauma towards literally everything. It can be somebody walking randomly past you that looks like your abuser. It could be a sound. It could be the way the wind moves. It could be literally anything. Country music can trigger some people into thinking about CSA. These people don't typically lead normal lives, whereas detransitioners, we usually do.
Exactly. It never ever leaves you.
I want to mention something real quick. Hold on. I want to just clear up something. I don't know why y'all in the comments are trying to act like what I said was rocket science. People in the comments are saying, oh, well, Bubbles, so you're trying to say that CSA victims don't live a healthy and long life? When the fuck did I say that? What I said was...
Yeah, no, don't listen to Gad. Gad doesn't have any strings in this fight. Absolutely none.
But my point being, though, is the fact that I don't understand why you guys want to make this a debate so bad. I get it. You and Martha are great debaters. You both are very intellectual. You're very smart. But at the end of the day, like there are people in the comments saying that they were SA'd so bad that they are now infertile and can't have children. So now what?
That was my point, that CSA and SA can both cause infertility.
So now what?
I did technically castrate myself medically. Hold on. I did still technically medically castrate. Hold on.
We should maybe let him speak.
Well, I want Lois to say this because people are trying to misconstrue.
Oh, yes, sorry, Lois.
But no, you're good.
it's literally the point we're trying to make.
Nobody cares, Manimal. So I went through 5 years of hormone reconstructive therapy and also had a double mastectomy. I definitely almost chemically castrated myself. So shut up, gamer. You think you ate. Now,
okay, Manimal, what do you want to say? Go ahead.
So you're literally making my point when you say that, like, hey, sometimes SA can cause the permanent dysfunction of the thing, right? That's going to be a worse case scenario, right? That's what we're saying, is that it's worse to lose your organ entirely.
Manimal,
right?
as I said,
can you guys just acknowledge that it's not controversial to say that?
For the 100th time,
you guys are wanting to make this controversial, and it's not.
it is controversial.
And then you want to blame Martha for making it controversial.
I don't know how much we have to repeat this, but I'm going to say it slow so you can understand, right? We don't give a damn about the logistics of whether or not it's the fuck worse. Okay, we get it. You're trying to debate. We don't give a damn. We're not debating on whether or not it's worse or not. We don't care.
There is no argument you had. This is not a debate that we were
This
having.
is not a debate.
All we were
but
saying
you
is
already
the comparison should not be made in the
We
first place. It
just-
doesn't matter whether one is worse than the other. The comparison should not be made. That's the entire point.
Exactly. Like,
All
what the
we
fuck?
want is to hold Martha accountable.
Then
We're trying to
that
hold
it was
her accountable.
not controversial what she said.
It
Yes,
was.
yes, it is.
Disgusting.
Manimal. Oh my
Wait, really
god.
quickly. So, okay, one, we guys gotta stop yelling. But two, man, you have to understand it in a sense of it was triggering for people, and I understand the concept of what Martha was trying to do, but it was triggering to people, regardless of the fact of how it was meant, what she was trying to say. It triggered people because there are people who have not been transitioned but have been SA'd. So this isn't a debate. I don't know why they were going back to this.
Exactly.
At some
And
point,
that's the thing. I'm not trying to convince anyone either. But the fact that nobody can.
Hold on. All I'm saying is, it is harmful as a victim myself. But again, I don't think they should have been compared at all. And we have to stand 10 toes down and say, okay, you may meant it this way, but it should not have been compared. It should not have been used because look what stirred up. It stirred up a hornet's nest.
It brought up so many memories for so many people, and Martha hasn't apologised, not even once, for the hurt that she caused by making that comparison, and that's my issue. And
It's not even
people
the fact that- it's not even that. It's also the fact that like, she continues to try and play victim, and now we're all just attacking her and poor little Martha, when in actuality, nobody was talking about it until she re-brought it up herself. She'd be like, well, I believe that it's worse because X, Y, Z, and done a long-ass essay, then got upset when people responded the same way we did the fucking previous night, and then went out live to cry about how we all, quote, attacked her. What the fuck did you think was going to happen when you re-brought up a conversation that you knew didn't go well? Why the fuck would you then think, it's a bright idea. Let me bring up this conversation that I just got done having, which didn't go fucking well. Why would you do it? Why would you do that?
She's trying to twist the story and make it sound like what she said wasn't as bad, but it really, really was. And I've heard people saying today totally different versions of what she said to make it not sound so bad, and that's my issue.
Also, Minimal, what about this person DM'd me, I'm not going to say who, but there was someone who DM'd me that literally said that they lost their uterus due to CSA. So now the fuck what?
That would be a worse, right, Bubbles?
What?
That would be a worse outcome, right?
Oh my god, it doesn't matter if it's
Agreeing
worse
with the
or
point,
not.
guys.
Oh my god.
Stop trying to make.
Brother, the point
controversial.
is that the comparison should not be made. That's the entire point.
My
Okay.
my thing is, you're literally having one thing cause both of those. That's where your stupidity comes in line. That one thing caused both of those things.
Right. Attacking can sometimes cause
So
destruction.
you're wrong on your own point.
No,
You're
you're
wrong
wrong.
on your own point.
Wrong about
Stop
what?
trying to
Minimal,
debate
the point-
anything.
You guys.
It's
No,
Wait, but the point is, Minimal, is the fact that
Danny, the point.
we
That's
We
fine.
understand.
No one's understanding the
completely.
point.
We
You guys are trying to make it
completely
something
understand.
else.
You're not
Wait a
our
second.
point.
Hold on. It's funny that Manimal is saying that we don't understand the point. I'm probably the only one on this panel that was even fucking there to begin with when the comparison was even made by Martha. So I need you to check your fucking shit because I know you weren't fucking there.
Also, it's the fact as well that, like I said, Manimal, something you're not understanding. You came up to have a debate, and you didn't comment to say, "Oh, they're having a straw
Hold
man."
on, one second, Bubbles.
Oh, go ahead.
So, most people know me on this app for being unbiased, number one, moderate, middle ground, and providing an unbiased space. This is Switzerland, so I don't need nobody going to yap to Martha because Scotty ain't said shit. I already said my opinion. I don't like the comment she made. I'm not talking shit about her. Don't go back to Martha and say X, Y, and Z. Do not come at me because I don't want none of these problems. I am, however, going to provide a space for people to freely speak their opinions. That's what I've always done, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So y'all can yap about what people are saying on this panel, but don't yap with my name.
Yeah.
Leave me out of this.
Blue guy.
Scotty hasn't said anything about Martha.
Yeah, I don't agree with that because I work in child sex crimes, and some of the abhorrent evil, demonic things that I saw with my own two eyes, I heard with my own two ears, it's inexcusable. So y'all can know my opinion based on that.
And
period.
Manimal.
Oh, go ahead.
You have so many CSA survivors trying to tell you that comment was insensitive and triggering, and you're still trying to justify it. I just find that disgusting.
Because here's the thing, Manimal is looking at this, and I'm not afraid to admit this, right? Manimal is looking at this from like a logistical kind of debate, like way, right? I'm looking at this more in an emotional way. I don't give a fuck which one logistically or logically is worse. I'm not, like earlier you commented, oh, they're doing a straw man. Manimal, I don't know what you think this is, but you're the one trying to come up. You came up here trying to debate. Nobody else was trying to debate you about this topic. We don't give a fuck which one is logically worse or whatever. We don't care. The point is that it doesn't need to be a debate to fucking begin with. Why do we feel comfortable to debate children's sexual trauma? It's fucking weird.
That's not the debate, though.
We don't debate it.
Okay.
Not a debate.
And no one's trying to make it a debate, guys.
Yes, you are.
You're the one
You
who
just
said
came
it.
up here.
Hold on.
That's not what I'm
really
doing.
Quickly. Hold on, really quick.
I'm trying to get you guys to acknowledge.
Hold on,
Okay.
real quick, bro. I'm sorry. Between myself and everybody on this panel, I think everybody on this panel know how I operate when it comes down to debating or having a conversation. Very straightforward. I try to keep emotions out of it, but please hear it from me. What was said did stir emotions up. What was said I'm not gonna say seem. What was said did take people back to that instance or whatever happened to them. I said that on Shiloh's live. I said that on my live. I said that on Christy's live. Mm-hmm. It brought people to a place where they feel uncomfortable. At the end of the day, the comments should not have been made, especially when people sit back and they hear Martha talk and they hear how she debates and what she's advocating for. In a sense, when she's saying that women are being raped in other countries, and she's not wrong when she says that. So making that statement, it made people look at it like, well, why would you say that? So we and I understand you're not trying to take it to a debate, but when you're saying some of the terminology you're using, it is coming off like you're trying to make this a debate. We're saying across the board, the statement was wrong. It does not matter how it was wrong. I don't have to be upset. I don't have to disagree with Martha wholeheartedly, but this statement was wrong. But it should not have been compared, period. And there's nothing we can go back and forth with anyone, especially with Lilith. She went through both. Mm-hmm. But there's no way we can sit here and say that statement or comparing it was okay. It wasn't. I'm sorry. It just wasn't.
Can we let Gato up as well? Because Gato is one of the people that... Okay, I was going to say...
Can I ask a question real quick, man?
Wait, I want to say one thing real quick.
Okay.
Manimal, here you are trying to make this a debate again. No. When you keep... Wait,
I'm making a debate, guys.
No, I kind of want to...
Hold on.
Go ahead.
When you're trying to do everything in your power to try and convince the other people to see your side and try to be like, oh, well, can you agree that this is worse and whatever? When you're asking those questions to try and prove a point, you are trying to debate. That is what you're trying to do. What else would you be doing if you're actively doing that?
I was going to ask a different question, but...
What's your question? Go ahead. Manimal, what's your question?
I think it was at this point, but maybe we should bring Gato up.
Yes, she's coming up. I'll send you an invite. I don't know if someone already did that. Oh no, it won't let me.
She has to. Her kind of describe it. So Blue has to allow her. Moderators can't do it.
Blue, if you're here, can you let Gato up, please?
I try to, and this is my thing. I try to be fair. I think this is one thing we all try to, I don't want to say preach, but we all try to preach. We can't just say that the TRAs don't call their sides out, because this is part of it. You know, I do support, I care about you guys, but I think across the board, this is one of those things where we have to acknowledge that it was wrong.
Yep. And
we just move on from there. And when I say move on, I don't mean just sweep it up under the rug. I mean, we acknowledge that the statement was wrong, and then we say, you know what? Let's just try to do better and not compare
I remember
the
my
atrocities.
question now.
Well,
Okay, go ahead.
So, like, when we're talking about the harms then of transitioning a child, right? What are we allowed to? How much detail are we allowed to like get into?
What do you mean?
I don't know,
Realize,
maybe compare it to like other like mutilation of children's bodies. Maybe don't compare it to sexual abuse.
exactly.
or rape or
Okay,
something.
good.
Well, but
So-
also, you guys act like that we haven't been debating like children transitioning and showing how horrendous it is before this comparison.
Right.
Like, we've
that's
been
what I'm saying.
okay, but ma'am, wait, but you're saying, well, what else should we do? Like, as if that's the only way
No,
to show the atrocity of children's
I'm not saying-
and I can
I didn't
say
bring
I
up the
bring that
comparison at
up.
all. I'm not trying to say that.
And I can
look,
say that I bring up that all the time. I
Okay,
use
good.
the comparison of yeah, but you're not letting me finish. I never bring up sexual assault or child sexual assault. What I bring up is the fact that you can develop severe health issues and medical health issues when you transition, especially when you transition at younger ages, because I have popped and got the big C in my breast from having to take HRT. You can make references like that, not referencing CSA. Do you see where the point is going?
Blue,
hold
can
on.
I,
So,
can I,
but,
sorry.
hold on. So included in the harms, let's just go through some of the harms now that can be caused by transitioning a child, right? And I'm not saying like, social transition. We're talking about the medical path, right? Which is going to be, it's like, if they're introduced at Tanner stage 2, even if they just take the puberty blockers, they're going to lose function permanently. And then, but let's just say like they go through the surgery, they're going to lose their whole anatomy. And this is going to say like as children, we're setting up on this path as children to basically become sexless, right? They're just destroying their bodies entirely, right?
You can't change
So-
your sex or like stop being a sex. What do you mean
What was that?
sexless? What did you mean by sexless? You can't like stop being a
Well,
sex.
I mean, yeah,
What
sorry.
do you
I
mean?
just mean like you've completely damaged obviously you're still male.
You mean
like,
they
but-
can't develop a sexual life when they're an adult?
Yeah, because their reproductive organ is completely like
Oh.
mangled, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Scotty, I have a mod
Right.
question.
So like that's what we're talking about.
Can Megan ask a question real quick to the host?
Scotty, are you here? I have a question. I don't think she's here.
She might not be here.
Are you asking if you can block someone or something?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if she's here. If she's not answering, she's probably not here.
I just want to say, is anyone?
She's here.
Like,
She's here.
I'm not trying to like. There's definitely no need. There's no need to bring up any comparison as long as we can all recognize that like the depths of the damage of transiting a child. We can all recognize the depth of the damage, right?
Hold on, minimal. I'll address that. I just think Megan needs to respond.
Can I block Chloe Token? I think he's a horrible person and he's commenting.
Yeah,
stuff.
if you're a mod in my sis, you're like,
Get the English video.
block whoever you want.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not making any comparison. I just want to start
No,
by making
Manimal. Do you know what the sick thing was?
What?
I told Martha repeatedly, I said, Martha, child mutilation, medical abuse is disgusting. It should never happen. This crook, this psychopath starts going, so you're saying you accept, you want this to happen? She starts saying I'm a TRA. She starts going on a tangent. No one said that they want kids to be medically abused. No one said this.
And that's right. No one's saying the other thing either. No one's saying that they want.
Manimal,
No.
not the want. She is saying that, Manimal, I actually have this clip out of her own mouth. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it's so absurd, not that it's funny. She said trans ideology is worse than pedophilia. That's what she said. Manimal, she said that.
Yeah, she said trans ideology is worse than pedophilia. Do you agree with that, Minimal?
So you guys.
You agree with that, Manimal?
You guys.
Do you?
We have
Wait,
to
can
look
you
at
hold
the-
on. Can you answer that question? Do you think that trans ideology is worse than P3DOs, pedophilia? Do you think that's weird?
You guys, I thought this wasn't trying to be a comparison, right?
Well,
you guys
now
are trying to still debate this.
wait. Well, now you don't want to answer the question.
Well, I'm not here to like just have all this this debate. You guys.
Okay, wait, fine. Then forget that. We'll look at the effects like you just said, right? Let's look at the effects.
I don't know how you can I don't know how you can separate the two. That's the problem here.
Well, no.
But they're different.
Wait, hold on, Esme. I'll respond to
very
that.
much
I'll
like
respond to that. No, wait, hold on, Manimal. Wait, Esme, I'll respond to that. Okay, right. So Manimal, I personally can name a few things that trans ideology is not objectively wrong. Can you name me one thing that's not objectively wrong in the P3 stuff? One. One.
No. I can't
Okay,
name
so they're
anything
not
that's
the
wrong
same.
about it.
Stop.
No one's trying to. Okay, well, what's the thing that's not bad about?
I would say that.
About about trans ideology.
Yeah, I would say the trans ideology part of like maybe.
Can I call someone in the comments real quick?
And the effects of the effects of transing a child is like.
I'm not talking about transing a child.
No, she said
trans ideology.
It goes even beyond the.
No, Manimal, I'm not talking about for kids. She said trans ideology as a whole is
way
worse
it
than
affects
P3.
people, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, in regards to trans ideology, I think that it's not objectively wrong to call a man a woman. Just like the term of man-woman. Like, say, if I called Nate a man, like, a woman right now, that's not objectively wrong now.
Wrong in your
What?
view? I don't know. Like, now we have to talk about what's objective. Like now, but.
Yeah, do you want... Okay, Manimal,
No,
tell me...
look,
Wait, tell me the
let's
moral wrong. Wait, tell me the moral wrong in calling just the word. Not that he is one. I'm saying just calling him that syllable.
Well, it's just a lie. So.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sure. There's white lies every day. I would say that it's not a horrible lie.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like now we're gonna compare lies now.
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but,
I'm
like
checking.
okay, it's a.
Sorry, it's going to be some audible. Can you hear me?
You're trying to stop it.
Your
It's a
mic's
fucking-
really
You have loud background though.
The thing is, we're not trying to have. You guys want to have the debate or not have the debate. You're saying this is not comparable. I'm agreeing.
No, wait, Manimal,
I don't want to have the debate either.
Manimal,
I wasn't
Manimal,
actually
wait,
accused of
No,
saying
I answered your question.
Hold on, wait.
Okay,
Doctor,
good.
1 second. Wait, Manimal, you're saying that you don't want to debate, but you literally came up here trying to talk about our viewpoints and then try to critique them and say, oh, well, how is it worth it, blah, 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 and then giving your reasons for how your side is, like, what are you talking about?
Bubbles. All I was trying to do was get you to realize that you don't disagree with the position fundamentally.
Okay, so again, you're trying to come up to debate. That's what you're trying to do.
No, I'm trying to get you to realize that what Martha said actually wasn't controversial, at least from my understanding of it. I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Manimal, we don't care if you feel as though that it wasn't controversial or that what she said was logically right. We don't care. We don't care about the we don't.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
what?
Are you fucking serious? Because I'm gonna call you out. No. Hold on. I'm gonna call you out on your shit right now. Then this whole fucking time, you
No,
say that we should be making
actually,
no.
Wait, but you didn't say that though,
Hold
Manimal.
on. You've been trying to say that you think that we should be talking about it because it's not controversial. In your opinion.
no. That's not. I never said that.
But
Okay,
Manimal,
hold
hold
on.
on.
Did not say that.
I don't know why.
Hold on. You
If-
literally
okay.
said, Manimal, hold on. You
Yeah.
literally word for word verbatim. You said, we should be comparing it to that. We should be using this comparison. You literally did say that.
Hold on.
Now we're lying because you did
If
say
you
that.
heard me say that, then I must have misspoke because that's not what I said. I never would say we should. I'm telling you. Maybe I said shouldn't too fast. I don't know.
You're backpedaling
No,
because
dude.
you've been caught in a lie.
Listen,
Wait,
no, I would
wait,
never.
Also, Manimal,
I never
You're not
came up.
listening. I am not
Guys.
listening to you. You're not my
May I
audience.
chime in before I have to
Never
go?
said that we should make the comparison. I literally
No,
never
we're
said
on
that.
her live. Wait, guys, hold on, just really quick. On her live, on Echo's like YouTube reback. He never once said anything about kids. So let me just clarify before I say anything. He said there's no one who would rather be castrated than, that there's no one who there's no one who would rather be castrated than be SA'd. So you were agreeing with her in a sense, not the child thing. I'm not going to lie and say he said anything about
Okay.
P3.
Is there anyone on the panel who would rather get castrated?
You have
Yes.
asked this before, and every
Yes.
single one on the hold on. You have asked this question before,
Okay.
and every
Okay.
single fucking
Anyone
person
who's
on the
not-
hold on.
Anyone who
And
is not
every-
trans.
Okay,
someone
anybody,
who wants
every
transing.
can you
I'm
shut
not
up?
trying.
Because everybody, hold on, Megan. Everybody on this panel said that they would rather have a transition then be SA'd again. You just don't
Wait.
like to listen to people.
Hold on. What do you mean? I mean castrated.
That's
Is that what you mean by? Is that what you mean by transition?
That is what a transition.
I want to hear it from everyone. I want to hear it from everyone then.
Wait, but Manimal, hold on. But my question to you.
Everyone would rather get
Wait, Manimal,
castrated.
Wait a minute. Why do you? Okay, so I find it funny that you literally asked the one person who has been through both and literally said verbatim, I would rather go through 10 transitions over and over and over again than ever go through my SA again. But now, because Lilith doesn't agree with your standpoint, I'm not done talking.
Know
I'm
what.
not talking.
No, bitch.
I don't know what her. I don't know what her.
Lilith, I'm not done talking. It's funny as fuck because Manimal.
I had to make it clear.
Manimal, I don't care. The one person you asked went against what you said, even though that she's been through both. And now all of a sudden you want to backtrack and now you want to ask everybody else. Why is that?
Well, everyone else was who I was
He
trying
needs
to ask in the
confirmation
first
bias.
place.
Esme
Does
doesn't
anyone
have
disagree, bro?
Esme has to go.
There's only one person that's ever answered. That's why I'm trying to get other people to answer.
So the two things I wanted to say is, we should just start calling spades spades. Martha's transphobic. Manimal's low-key giving it too. And also, I'm not surprised that Martha's back. I think she realized that in real life she doesn't really matter, so she needs her confirmation bias back on TikTok. I honestly, even though we're still giving this attention, what she said was objectively horrible and harmful to anyone who's been through CSA and to those who are transgender. There's really just no point arguing it. And if you're trying to argue for her, I think you're just as weird, if not even weirder, considering, but that's all I really have to say. Like, this
and
just
the, and the reason why nobody else, hold on, and the
So,
reason why nobody else is answering
Can
is
he answer my question?
no.
Well,
The reason
Okay, so he either agrees with what I'm saying,
Oh,
or
he said he had to go, so no.
I had to leave.
Well, he could have.
And also, wait, Manimal, I'll answer for you. The other day when we were having this discussion, when he did come up after this whole thing happened, he said he would rather be trans or castrated than SA'd. Yes.
everybody on this panel has said that, and the reason why they're allowing me to answer is because I'm the only one who has been through a transition and child sexual assault. That's why they're letting me answer, because I am the only one in this entire community, besides maybe Animosity, that's been through both.
Exactly. So Lilith is telling you her opinion, but you're not listening.
Well, but not even just that, though. But even if you were to get that, wait, but hold on. Manimal, hold on.
Did she retain her
Manimal. The comparison
Oh.
from Martha wasn't, would you rather get raped as a child and then transition as a child and then lose your sexual function and go, and no, she didn't go to detail. All she said was this, a child transitioning is worse than a child being raped, is what she said.
Yeah, Manimal, she tried to move the goalposts afterward, after she realized what everyone was saying, and saying, oh, well, for myself, I would rather be SA'd 1,000,000 times over than have to transition to not have my kids.
And also, to answer your weird-ass, creepy-ass question, Manimal, which gave me, and which I knew you always gave me these weird...
not valid.
You always gave me...
I don't care what a mother says about what she's going to do for her kids. I think it was insensitive in that regard. I don't care about what she was saying for what she would do to herself for her kids. But she's saying before that... Wait, Manimal,
Why is it so controversial?
Interrupting.
Oh my God.
Let Otto finish.
Thank you. Before that happened,
Oh,
well, you're literally going to get dropped.
Really quick.
Either shut up or get dropped. Have some respect. Not everything's about you in your closet.
Manimal, but before that detour took place of her saying that, she repeatedly said CSA that child medical mutilation is better. It's worse than CSA, and then she went trying to explain why. She repeatedly kept saying you can recover from CSA, while no people can recover from child transitioning. But Manimal, when you asked what her definition of normal was, over the last 2 days I've been listening. I think it was 3 actually. Her normal definition is just being able to orgasm. She said on her live, and I have it clipped, so don't say, oh, you're lying. Later on, I'm going on Kitty's panel, and I'm going to play all these clips. And then I'm leaving this fucking app because a good chunk of you are nothing but transphobes and homophobes. Not the people I fuck with, but the people who are supporting her and standing behind her after everything she did. Yeah, a lot of you you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything.
Can we let Nate go since Nate's been up here?
Yeah,
I was in a
I think
I have background noise. It's loud.
Is there any way you can like put the mic close to your mouth, because that might drown it out?
I have AirPods on, so you're gonna hear everything. I don't have noise cancellation. Let me just wait until I get in the car. I'm getting so close. Let me just get everything in there.
Lilith wanted to go anyway, so
well, before Lilith goes, can we have a moderator block whoever Lilith Rose is, because they're going around saying radio. They're saying that Martha is Schmittler. We don't condone those comments, so let's not.
Happens when they see this type of infighting. They just win.
Okay, Lilith, go ahead.
Before I was interrupted by quite literally everybody, I was going to say that now I even fucking forgot what I was going to say. Shit.
Oh no. You were talking about earlier. You're talking about your personal experience, and then him.
Oh, right. In my personal experience, right, with everything that I've been through in my entire life, again and again and again, I will always say that when we're advocating against these types of people, we can't make ourselves look like complete asses. And in my experience, I've only been getting rude experiences from people, and quite crazy ones like the ones I've been getting from Martha. And Martha, you and other people that have these radical ass views are the ones making our community look retarded. I'm serious when I'm telling you that I have seen a lot in the past 2 months that I've been doing these debates, and it honestly is deplorable. When I hear about types of shit like this, I personally recoil, because it brings back so much, not only from the fact that I was SA'd as a child, but for the fact that I was also transitioned as a teenager. So while I can acknowledge that both are harmful, and to answer your creepy ass, weird ass question from earlier, Manimal, which I always knew you gave these sort of creep ass vibes. No, I didn't completely retain my sexual function. I still can't exactly have an O very easily, because HRT still does do some adverse effects to you. Sorry, the baby's eating, so she's really happy. But I didn't completely retain my sexual function. However, I would rather do it 1 billion times over than ever be sexually assaulted ever again.
Did you hear that, Manimal? Are you going to twist what she said?
He then commented and said, "You guys do realize the horrible effects of children transitioning, right? Yeah, no shit. We know. Nobody on this panel is advocating to transition. The fact is, the damn. Why would you buy it?
Hold on. Also, Life, I called Manimal a creep for the simple fact that he is a fucking creep for asking me if I retained sexual function. That's fucking weird, weirdo.
No, it's not weird.
I don't think he meant it in like are you getting off, but like in regards to your transition.
It's because it's relevant.
That's weird. That's still weird. That's still an uncomfortable fucking question. Weird.
Yeah, it is, like, if you didn't want to ask, yeah.
30 years older than me. Why do you need to know?
Lilith, it's because you keep claiming that
I don't give a fuck what it was because of. I don't.
Claiming that you went through a transition.
I don't.
So, if she doesn't want to talk about it, just drop it. If she doesn't want to talk about it, just drop it.
Look, you guys.
I know, Manimal, but I'm saying if she doesn't want to talk about it, just
the point that is being made is between complete destruction and damage. You guys are saying you would rather have complete destruction rather than just
Then
damage.
get SA'd as a kid again? Yes.
Guys,
what is it?
Okay, guys, that's okay. You guys can have that opinion. That's fine.
No. I'm gonna ask you a very fair question. I'm gonna give you my own anecdotal experience, bitch. Since you seem to know so much about CSA, if a 5-year-old is taken into SMEX slavery and has to do hundreds of guys weekly, because let's not forget, Japan has a massive PDF file problem. When you have something like that, how are you going to say for 5 consecutive years of doing this until I aged out of the brothel that I was in, that this isn't harmful and isn't more harmful than transitioning a child?
Manimal and Martha seem to think that people having children is the most important thing in the world.
No,
but
Megan.
Not if they want children.
No, Megan. Martha changed.
It's not even
wait, hold on, Manimal. You don't. It's not that
the
because
reproductive function that is lost, guys.
No, I know, but I'm saying Martha and I. Look, I have this clip. I have to go through my clips. She openly said that if it was just sterilization, she wouldn't have made the comparison. That she wouldn't have said that it was worse. But because they don't develop ability to orgasm, that it's worse. That's what she said. So this is based exclusively on sexual functioning. Even though if you look at reports on CSA victims and their sexual functionality, not functional. I think that's, I don't know if that's the right word I'm using. We'll just use functionality for right now, but it might be the wrong word. Their sexual functionality, it's still like screwed, even if they're not physically damaged when they're adults.
It's such a weird thing to be like.
Can I ask Manimal a question? Someone
I feel like you're kind of like thirsty to like find something that could be like construed, something that she said that made it seem that she's making this point. That she's really not trying to make